I knew something was up. My phone, the text messages were coming
is that right?
all over the place, so I knew something was up.
Was this before it happened?
Yeah, just as it happened, really. So I'm not surprised. Look, domestically, they've won 6 games in the last 24.
Yeah.
Last year, they lost 20 matches in a period. That's too many for a club that need. And Daniel Levy has made it pretty clear they've got to be in the top 4. Tottenham have got to be in the top 4 with that beautiful stadium, with the club, what they're trying to do for the future. That is his trophy. The problem is, I've said before, there's certain players at Tottenham that want to win silverware. They want to be successful with that team. And you've got new players coming that haven't hit the road running. There've been injuries, so he couldn't really replace the players that he wanted out. The 4 players that really see their future at another club next season, they're not at it. That team hasn't pressed like they have for 2 years. They used to press 3 or 4 years ago. We were all talking about it, looking at the stats, looking at the way they pressed, the way they worked. So they can play when they got the ball. But when the opposition have got the ball, it's gone off. And I wonder whether I think the training there was really tough. He pushed them really hard. That's okay for a couple of years, but can you do that for 4 or 5 seasons? I think in the end, physically and mentally, the players have probably turned away from that as well as all the other stuff which Joe says about Levy and his relationship.
What experience have you two got, and maybe you managing players, where you have a sense that you've stopped playing for the manager? We talk about it, don't we, in the media, as he's lost the dressing room. What's your experience of that?
It's a tough one to answer, really, because from a personal note, my relationship with any of the managers I play with didn't come into the fact how I played. I always give 100%. But there are people in the dressing room, sometimes you get a sense from them, they're like, they can be a little bit acidic. They can sense that the manager might be on his last legs, and then there's just little quotes. I don't like this session. I don't like that session. What did the manager do there? He shouldn't have done that. And it sort of builds discord in the group. And then them sort of players are the ones that, when the manager gets the sack, the next day they come in, they're chirpy. They've not been training properly for 2, 3, 4 weeks before that. All of a sudden, they're training like their lives depended on it, because they can see their future and that. So it's a funny world we live in, because you've got 20. It's the only being a football manager. It's the only job where you have to sack 13 players on a Friday and re-employ them on a Monday, because you can only pick 11 players to start. All them players that are not starting feel let down, feel that they should be starting. So, and that's why it's such a tough job, and that's why these guys get paid a fortune, because to galvanise a group like they have, like Jose does, it's tough.
Yeah, I think it can spread like a cancer. I think if you've got big characters in the dressing room who aren't backing the manager, the Christian Eriksens, the Vertonghen's, Alderweireld's, these are top players for Tottenham and have been over the course of Pochettino's reign. They're unhappy, they're making noises. You've got leaders and you've got followers in the dressing room. It only takes 1 or 2 of them to moan, to groan. And
have you felt it anywhere? I
have, yeah, a couple of times. And when the manager's on his last legs, when there's people are grumbling, moaning about the training, about who he's picking. And it's a difficult thing, and it spreads. And that 5, 6, 7%, if you're not putting that in, you're going to get found out in the Premier League, and that's what's been happening to Tottenham.